Yo, what is up? Welcome back to Wiffle Wednesday Live Chat, episode 34. It is 2026 Topps Chrome release day. Um, so I have mixed feelings about Topps Chrome. I was trying to think back to the last time I personally ripped a Topps Chrome hobby box for myself, and I think it was 2018, and it was at the National, and it was because I didn't find what I was looking for that day. I didn't find the singles I was looking for, the players I was looking for. 2018, I wasn't selling nearly as much. It was just kind of a thing to do on eBay. It wasn't my primary focus by any means. So in 2018, I was probably looking for some random PC stuff. Didn't find it. I was only there for 1 or 2 days, and then because it was in Cleveland, and then I went and bought hobby box of 2018 Topps Chrome. I still remember my hit. It was 20. It was Sandy Alcantara orange refractor rookie auto number to 25. At the time, he wasn't anybody, but I do remember exactly what I priced it at. Held it for like a year and a half, maybe longer, and did eventually get $100 for that. So that was pretty cool. Which I think paid for the box. I want to say 2018 was $100 a box. Probably the last time I opened Topps Chrome. I have 2026 hobby Topps Chrome in front of me. I don't know how to quantify this yet, but I think this is one of those. Yeah, Joe, I do hate that the autograph per box. They lowered it from 5 to 3, and now 2. And I was at the shop today, and I think they were asking $660 for a box, and maybe it was $680 even. I actually wanted to go on Topps to see right now because I might just throw some hobby in the cart. I doubt they have cases. They're probably gone. Yeah, hobby case is gone. I have this weird feeling that hobby cases are going to be just the bee's knees. It has all the right things. I think I'm going to give Topps some leeway. They now have had a 25 Topps Chrome baseball release that didn't do well, a 2025 Topps Chrome update baseball release that didn't do well, a basketball release that was fine, is pretty highly touted because basketball has some pretty high-end cards in it, and then football, which did this incredible spike and then almost in a free fall ever since. I'm hoping that they learned something along the way. We also have a very, very strong baseball checklist. The rookie class is, I think, beyond good. We'd have to go back to 2018 with Ohtani. Probably the last time I feel that the class is this strong. 2022 release was an absolute nightmare of the pack out, the players, and all that. I mean, we had Julio and Bobby Witt. We have JJ Weatherholt, Connor Griffin, Jacob Mizorowski, Cam Schlittler. That's off the top of my head. I probably should have wrote down more. A lot of pitching hits. Samuel Basayo, I still think is a guy. McGonigal's a guy. DeLauder's a guy. This could be one of those checklists that we look back in even 2 years. I'll say 2018 July. We're going, yo, that's wild. Joe, I was going to bring that up. That is in my notes. The Chrome MVP buyback is in one of those positions that we haven't had since, I want to say, 2023, when Acuna was like, we weren't sure if he was going to win because he wasn't at the 70-40 season or 40-70 season, however you want to say it. By the end of the season, it was going to be Acuna. But in 2023, we weren't dead set on him winning. There wasn't a clear front runner in the American League, and there isn't right now. So that is very cool. The National League, Shohei Ohtani is at minus 1,000 last I saw, so that's a pretty hefty lead. However, he's already said he has some knee problems. He's taking a couple weeks off pitching. Maybe it just opens the door enough for Pete Crow Armstrong to come crashing through. I think Jordan Alvarez is clearly the best in the AL right now, and he should win if he continues on the season. But I don't think we've seen that many full seasons out of Jordan Alvarez. Junior Caminero is on the best team in the American League and playing like a superstar. Maybe he makes a move. Nick Kurtz is still definitely in the running. I think Bobby Witt was still in the top 5. Bobby Witt's an all-around like superstar. So, I mean, it would take a lot for him to win, but 2 of those 3 guys get injured, turns into a 2-man race. Bobby Witt could definitely win it. Ohtani is pedestrian without pitching. I mean, he has a 50-50 season, so we're gonna pull the brakes on that. I know you're talking about this year in particular. Yeah, there you go. Ben Rice, 100% Ben Rice is in the running. I would consider him in the top 5. That's a great name that I left out. The but the build of it, you're exactly right. The no clear front runners, kind of wide open, and all of these players are in the checklist. If you remember 2025, it was a 2-man race in the American League, Judge and Cal Raleigh. Guess who didn't have a card in 2025 Topps Chrome? Cal Raleigh. He was only in 2025 Topps Chrome update, which that card would have been eligible for the buyback if he had won, but it did not have the same flair because he wasn't in it. It just people were buying Judge. There's going to be probably over the next few weeks little spikes of these players. If Nick Kurtz has a good week, I bet his Topps Chrome card becomes a $10 card, $11 card, $12 card. Someone trying to find that little bit of an edge. Are you talking about Ohtani? I mean, Ohtani did steal all with the new rules. Or, I mean, literally anyone. Bobby Witt has incredible steals. Ohtani has, since he started pitching again, just like essentially turned off running. He's not even trying to steal bases. It is what it is. He knows his ability in the playoffs. I bet if they need him to steal, he'll steal. He's kind of like, I feel like he's just checking off adventures on the baseball field. Can I win a Cy Young? I'm gonna at least give it a go. He might not be able to because his knee is acting up, and they said probably 2 to 3 weeks till his next start. Can I hit 50-50? Sure. Let me just turn up the steals a little bit. I want to say there was a period where he wasn't stealing within that season. There was like a 2-week period, and then his home runs kind of caught up. I forget what it was, but there was a lull in one of them where maybe 40-40 or 50-50 wasn't in the picture. And then as soon as he like thought it could happen, I swear he turned that dial up to 11 and was like, all right, we can do this. Let's go steal some bases because we can. The other thing about this 2025 Topps Chrome release, or 2026 Topps Chrome, they posted that picture. I say they as in Topps posted that picture yesterday of the Ohtani dual logo man, 2024 gold logo man and 2025 gold logo man with a American English autograph and then the kanji autograph from Ohtani. I think the early estimates are 5 million for that card. I don't think that's enough. I think that card is probably like a $7.5 million card. I think it will be, if Ohtani had a rookie debut patch, that would be like the ultimate modern baseball card. I think this will be the ultimate modern. $10 million, like, would not surprise me. Based on what I see, it's going to be in hobby or jumbo. The odds say it's like 1 in 2.8 million to pull a dual logo man. So he's not going to be the only one with one. I'm sure there's the dual, like they did the MVPs, the Cy Youngs. I'm sure those are in here again. But the dual MVP logo man Ohtani is a life-changing card. Yeah, just insane. The other part that I was talking about when I said like they've learned from Topps Chrome update, the basketball Topps Chrome, the football Topps Chrome, they also learned the case hits that people like. The ultraviolets are more rare this year. I want to say it's 1 in 1,500 packs, which is, what is that, 6 cases, 7-ish cases, probably like 7 cases, 6.5, somewhere in that range. That is, I mean, that the fact that they're learning and there's more demand for these cards, and if you are a person who does all sports, collects all sports, buys or sells all sports, whatever it might be, if you have uniformity and things that you can compare baseball and football and basketball, that's my whole gold parallel argument, those things are going to like carry each other upward. If all of a sudden you see that LeBron James ultraviolet sees a 20% spike, I think you're going to see a 5% spike across everyone, probably a 10 or 20% spike on the other GOATs, the Ohtanis and Judges that are out there. So I think this is going to be an interesting case study of seeing all of the products have uniformity, same designs, same collectability, same player levels across all 3 sports. I think it's just going to be a continuous like pull up. I'm trying not to be overly bullish because baseball and not having a baseball season worries me like crazy. But this like, I feel like this playoff run, both leading up to the playoffs and through the playoffs, baseball cards are going to be literally on fire, including 2026 Topps Chrome. This feels like a product that's just going to go up and up and up and up for a very, very long time. It's going to be harder and harder to find, especially if that gold logo man does not get pulled within the next, let's call it 3 months. This is a product that's going to do exactly what the 2024 Topps Chrome update did. I mean, I don't even know what the last Chrome update did. When they were looking for the skeins, they were at thousands and thousands of dollars per box. I mean, a mega box, 2024 Topps Chrome Update mega box just sold for $213. That was a $50 box at retail. I remember selling my brother two boxes for $100 cash. It's exactly what I paid for them. We opened them on Christmas together. I just feel like it has that power. It has that like trajectory. I did not see that Blez pulled a 1/1 Ohtani dynasty. That's probably, I mean, 2 million. I can't even quantify because those aren't numbers that matter to me. 2.5, 3 million, 3.5. I have no idea. And yes, the value box, I do have a one of those as well. I'm going to rip it. They have new refractors in here, baseball seams, just like they did the basketball edge, and then red, white, and blue refractors. That's stolen directly from Panini. I actually don't like that. I think that's a terrible idea. Cat hit a Judge 101. Good for him. I'm going to do, what's this called? Not live. I'm going to record and talk about the odds a little bit for that. I'm sorry, Joe. I wish I should have brought more so I could just do it live. I should have bought more. I want to say I paid $40 for this. I think that's the going rate on Topps Chrome blasters, or at least that's what it was on the secondary market. It might be 30 still at Dick's and things like that. $39.95. I cannot believe I'm about to say this number, $335. They're $240 or $250 on Topps right now. I think that's the cheapest they'll ever be from now until I'm no longer breathing. So 2026 Topps Chrome. To say I'm bullish would be an understatement. I think it's going to outsell basketball and football. We'll give it a 3-year timeline. I think it has that kind of staying power with the rookie class, with Ohtani, with the Ohtani chases, the judges, the MVP buyback. I wish they extended that window. I think it should go all the way until the next release. Make that good for a year. It would help pull up that product for a long time. So do with that information what you will. I'm not putting my money where my mouth is. I'm not going out and stashing every single 2026 Topps Chrome box that I can find, but I should. This feels like one of those opportunities where I talk it up, but I don't act on it. And then in a year from now, in July of 2027, I'm going to tell you guys, hey, you remember when I said to buy 2026 Topps Chrome and then didn't do it? Yeah, I'm an idiot. Okay, so the image variation I saw was for hobby boxes. It was like 1 in 112, so that's 1 every 5-ish boxes. In 4 jumbo, 4 hobby, 4. So when it's broken up like that, they may have just caught a high. I was looking at the odds before I went live. They may have just caught a good run of it. Where was the odds? Where were the odds? Yeah, hobby sold out. I knew it. You can buy jumbo still, but hobby is the move. Hobby boxes are the move. That might just be a little bit of heavy variance. I saw one in, I think it was 1,100 or 115 packs. So yeah, like 1 in every 4 to 5 boxes. In the thumbnail, I put the ups and downs of whatnot. I had what I would consider my best show in easily 2 months, maybe 3 months. Probably since Easter. Easter was an incredible show. I'll think about that show for a very long time. Followed by what I would consider my lowest point as a seller on Whatnot. Thursday was absolutely jumping. I have no idea what I did differently. The thumbnail, I always do the same type of thumbnail. I kind of like the best 9 or 10 cards. I put those cards in the picture and run. The only thing I could think that I did differently that may have brought in a little bit more traffic was I had a stack of all aces, and I kind of like spread them in the corner to just show like doing all aces. What that did bring in was people requesting those cards specifically. But I don't know. I have all aces in the photo all the time. So maybe it was just a mix of people at Fanatics Fest. So there weren't as many live sellers, some of the bigger sellers. So maybe I got some of their traffic. It may have been a mix of that thumbnail. It may have been because I was on Thursday, so there were new people in there. I actually moved the show from Wednesday to Thursday. I don't know what the magic formula was, but instead of sitting at 25 to 35 viewers, which is what I've been doing for weeks now, I was sitting at 50 to 60, got up to 70 something, and just had good chat, good vibes. It was one of those shows where people would request something and I would have it. They would request something and I'd have it. And it wasn't 10 requests at once. It was a request, card would sell, a secondary card would sell, and then I'd get another request. And I just had this pace and flow that I haven't experienced in a very long time. So that was really, really fun. Thursday was awesome. Follow up Thursday with Saturday. Saturday was incredible buying. I found a small show. It was a first time show, but the vendors there, I'd seen pretty much all of them. It wasn't anything new. But one of the guys who I don't normally buy from, he's a vintage guy and a basketball guy, had new baseball. It was a lot of prospect stuff. It was the good names, nothing too crazy. It was kind of my perfect price band, that 5 to 20. I know I need to get my GoPro. I've put a deadline on it before, so I'm not going to say the deadline, but I have a personal deadline that will be live. It's happening, period. But he had ultra modern baseball and he had prospects. Like I said, the good names, my perfect price band. I made a huge stack of stuff and he priced it in buckets, 2, 5, 10, and then 20. I looked through it. Some of the stuff in the 2 should have been 1. Some of the stuff in 5 should have been 2. Some of the stuff in 5 should have been 20. So I went through, I looked at every single one. I said, great, done deal. I did not negotiate. I didn't try and round it off. I just paid him his money. And I think it is a stack of 60 to 80 cards. It's like the perfect price point and stack of cards for a prospect focus show. That's what I'm going to do tonight. Prospect focus show with the hits from this stuff. As long as it's less than $100, I'll probably run it in this show. And then I'll grab base of the MVP candidates and the top rookies and just run that along with the prospect show. I would love to do like a 300 card show tonight because I'm leaving for Buffalo tomorrow. Yeah. You should hit me with a bet. You should at least employ Josh or anyone to come smoke my arm with a bat and be like, if you don't put this GoPro on in the next 24 hours, I'm going to break your arm. That is exactly what I need. But yeah, leave for Buffalo tomorrow. We have an 8 p.m. game on a turf field. I don't even remember where it is, but that'll eat up most of my weekend. 8 p.m. Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Friday. So that Friday morning, I've already done some research for some shops. I'm hoping to just find, I don't know, 40 to 60 cards. Like I don't have high expectations, but I would love DA, David Adams. They have their like main warehouse there. They've always had a ton of wax and a lot of memorabilia. It's actually like they have a hockey apparel store in the front of it. I don't remember exactly, but the setup surprised me. The front of it is apparel, and then the cards are in the back, and they have so much wax. I'm curious what it looks like, and I'm really curious what they have priced or what they have 2026 Topps Chrome hobby boxes for. Because if I don't spend like a decent amount of money on singles there, maybe I grab one of those and do a hotel room rip of Topps Chrome. That's what I should put that on my to-do list. Pack computer and camera to do a Topps Chrome live rip because I think you'll be seeing a lot of live rips of Topps Chrome. Oh, jeez. Kuroda Grauer, for those of you who don't know, fouled the ball off of his own testicle and ruptured his testicle. He went on the injured list, in case you were wondering. So, yeah, Joe, please don't ball tap me. That would be non-ideal. I picked up some stuff of his this weekend. So, yeah, maybe if I was live longer on Sunday, I could have done it. That was the other part. I was hyping myself up. Thursday was a great show. Fantastic. Crushed it. Sunday night, there's this stupid little thing in shipping that you have to click over. It's a little toggle, make it green. That says you'll offer first class shipping. So that means the first, you can actually change your weight also. And I have the lowest weight they'll allow. So you can buy up to 5 cards on that 78-cent shipping. I think your second card, they charge 30 cents. The fourth card, they charge another 30 cents. So you get to that $1.32 or $1.36, whatever it is now. And I forgot to click that. So that means that they paid bubble mailer shipping on that first one. And my inventory was based around like a $5 floor. So I wanted stuff to sell at 5. I could not get any traction going because of that stupid toggled shipping. I did not switch it over. People didn't tell me in the chat right away. What happened was I had probably had 10 or 15 cards like at the start of the show that I've tried to make a conscious effort to not make them too good, but also they have to be something. Otherwise, people are flipping out. When I say flip out, I mean like going to the next show. So that first 10 to 15 cards is more important than I gave it credit for. It needs to be recognizable names, something with good eye appeal. It doesn't have to be crazy valuable, but it does have to be something to make people stay. And those 10 to 15 cards, which I thought were very, very similar to what I did on Thursday, which sold really well, did well, were very similar, and it had almost the exact opposite result. I think I had 2 sales of the first 5 or 6 cards, and I was like, this, like, not excited about this. My traffic was fine. Traffic was fine. And then it finally dropped off, and someone said, hey, what's up with the shipping? And I was like, what do you mean, what's up with the shipping? It's $4.29 for the first card. I was like, that's why. And then other people were putting in the chat that they had free shipping, and I should have picked up on this. The people that said they had free shipping is because they had already purchased a card. They probably didn't notice that first shipping charge was higher than it normally is, because I have always done the 78-cent shipping as the first card. So vibes were down, traffic was down, sales were down, and I noticed it too late. I was about 45 cards in when someone mentioned it, and I was like, do I end right now? And I said no. I ran another about 40 card. I probably ran another 45 cards. A bunch of them didn't sell, but I actually had a stack of stuff next to me, and I pulled out the best stuff. So the people that did pay that $4.29 shipping, I was like, hey, I'll run all the best stuff I have in this stack, and then I'll call it. So at 85 cards, I called it. Really disappointed in myself that I made that mistake, because I'm a very heavy attention to detail guy. That's one of those things that I pride myself on, and I think it's hard to quantify how big of a mistake this was. I didn't. It's not like I was giving cards away. They weren't crazy. But what happened was I did not capitalize on both the momentum of Thursday, the momentum of a good buying weekend. I had really good inventory. And again, I'm curious about the lack of people selling because they were at Fanatics Fest. So, Don, what's going on? Hey, I saw you purchased on eBay. Don's taken up a lot of real estate, and I appreciate you. He's on Whatnot. He's on YouTube, and he bought from me on eBay. That card went out today, by the way. I all of these momentum opportunities that I could have just rolled into what I would consider a great opportunity on Sunday night, I just swung and missed on everything. And I'm so disappointed. That probably cost me in short term on the cards that I sold about $100. But if you told me that it was a $500, $600, $700 mistake over the next couple of weeks, over that show, over what's going to happen Wednesday, I would absolutely believe you. That mistake was monumentally bad. And it is what it is. I've already made it. Now I learned from it. Don't let it happen again. Have a good show Wednesday. Try and come back on Sunday, depending on my baseball schedule. We could end up playing a doubleheader on Sunday, 12-3. So Sunday would be a cancel for sure. But it's just, man, did that one really bite me? Tried not to get too upset about it. And I also tried not to overreact, because I thought I still have good inventory. I could run a Tuesday night show to kind of make up for the misstep, but thought about it. If I'm not buying or going to a show this weekend because I have baseball, then this inventory will have to last me through potentially 2 more shows. So I have to pull the reins back, not overreact, and kind of take it in stride. Yeah, Don, you're on Facebook too. I saw you followed me on there. I appreciate you so much. That's a struggle with social media. You got to be everywhere, because some people consume social media differently, and I'm just trying to be in front of as many people as I can. And I was actually going to talk about this. I was thinking about this for the last probably 2 weeks. This YouTube live on Wednesday, I have not hit the stride of making it interactive with people yet. Yeah, Don, I have thought about that. I think it's a slippery slope. I'll get into that. But the social media aspect of it, and keep showing up for this show. I would love this to be like a 10, 15, 20, 60 person show where I'm talking about the business and I'm not trying to force 30 minutes. It comes out to an hour and a half. And I'm like, guys, I got to go. That's what I would love to do. 1 million Cubs, Bo. That's what he developed, but he did this show daily. So he had people that probably tuned in every day to listen while they were shipping. And also the time slot, he was at 7 a.m. So it's something that may have just like hit the drive to work, whatever it might be. And I'm in the middle of the day. People can't give me as much attention. And I understand that. And also I looked at how many people have watched this show over the last, 34 weeks. And it's interesting because it's not linear. I saw, no traffic the first few shows, and then I saw this little spike, and I was like, okay, we're gonna see more and more people come in. It's just going to be this hopefully steady growth, and that is not the case. And it's interesting to me, like my mindset around it, because I said I would do this for a year, no matter what. Hopefully, continue to keep showing up, see some growth, and I stopped worrying about the numbers. I don't care about the views. Of course, I want more people here because I think the more people that are in the chat and have things to bring up, the more value that I can bring, bouncing ideas off each other, talking about things that you guys are seeing, thinking, and kind of instead of being one person talking about their ideas, it's 10 people noticing the market, noticing cards, baseball, whatever it might be, and talking about those things. So the number of people that view it, I literally just don't care. I'm going to keep trying to bring value, and this cathartic experience of writing out my thoughts and going live. Man, I really truly enjoy this. I talked about doing this more than once a week, and maybe I still do. The other idea that I had was going live Sunday nights and doing like a business review, what sold, what I bought, how much I sold, how much I bought, new product releases, and just keep it like business 101 focused and just stay locked into the business. And then the Wednesday show could be more of a, open forum, talk about anything, talk about the Odyssey, which I haven't seen yet, but I would really like to talk about the Doomsday trailer that came out, and we got to see Cap again. Ozzy, I don't know. I don't understand the kangaroo reference. Maybe just jump around. And Don, yes, to answer your question, having people buy for me, I think that is an absolute must in the future. And in the short future, I've been wrestling with the idea of an office space / warehouse space. I really want warehouse space because I would like to bring back the bulk store, but I want someone else to ship for me. That is the biggest issue I faced, was shipping and the time crunch that it takes. However, if you have lulls on Whatnot, which I've experienced, and you don't have that backup of the bulk eBay store, I have felt the pressure of buying stuff that I don't need or I don't think are good deals in order to satisfy the Whatnot quantity that I want to sell. So there is a world where I get a space, sell bulk, and then employ people to buy for me. The biggest issue I have right now, and the biggest thought in the back of my head, I've been kind of talking about it with people, and what I would do is the 2027 lockout. I think it is a foregone conclusion that we will miss games in 2027. Now, we had this in 2020. We missed 100 games of that season. And it had the exact opposite effect, but it was COVID related. What I saw was potential and hype sold at an all-time high. I remember selling base rookies of all the people from the 2019 rookie class because I bought factory sets. I bought hundreds of factory sets, and I would break out 20 card lots of Tatis, Eloy Jimenez, Pete Alonso, Vladdy, not Nixon, Kyle Tucker, Michael Kopech, Brandon Lau, Luis Urias. There was this hype train that happened because the games weren't playing and everyone capitalized on hype. The actual fact that there weren't games being played meant that they couldn't knock anyone off a pedestal. We had all this hype conversation. So there is a world where this 2027 lockout has the exact opposite effect, and it actually is a positive for my business. However, I do not think that'll happen this time because it's not going to have the same effects. I think people are going to dart into football, dart into basketball, more Pokemon, more TCG, One Piece, whatever it might be. I think people will leave the baseball card realm. Not everyone, of course. There's still going to be diehards. So how do I pivot that? How do I navigate that? And it'll be vintage. It'll be set building. and it'll be more education based. I think what I would do content wise, because there's no new products, I would go back into old content, or excuse me, old products. What value did they bring? What was great about them? Revisit some of the best parallels we've ever had. Stadium Club Chrome Gold Minted, just an all timer. I'd probably focus on the historic sets like Sapphire, like Topps Stadium Club. I would focus on the image variations and things like that. So I do have a plan in the back of my head on how I would navigate that. However, buying that warehouse space just has, or not buying, but renting a warehouse space has me very, very like nervous. I don't want to jump into something and then have to not only like abandon what I'm currently doing, because I don't think Whatnot would be as successful. I think it would be more eBay, like when I say long form, I just mean like I'm listing it, expecting it to sell in a longer period of time. And I would just have to continue to build out that long form eBay store. And I don't necessarily want to, the idea of that is that it's like, it's passive. I can sit at home and do that and continue to list hundreds of cards a day and just leave it alone. The idea of having a space is that I have people meeting, that I'm buying more collections, I'm buying ultra modern, I'm turning and burning so much more because baseball is so relevant, and the people that are relevant within baseball change regularly. So I've been very hesitant to pull the trigger on getting a warehouse space because I just have this huge fear that 2027 is going to experience a lockout. We're going to miss games, and I don't know how the market will react to that. And I'm so baseball focused, and I enjoy it so much. I enjoy baseball so much, and I enjoy the baseball card market because there's so much more to enjoy. There's so many more players, so much more volatility, and that is my specialty. The quick reaction, that's how I find stuff. Don, more people to see your cards on eBay. It's interesting because there's not a good answer to that question. Because ripping boxes and selling those cards, you'll be surprised that you kind of have to give them away. eBay is so competitive. So when you listed your cards on listed your finest cards, there was probably, I don't know, thousands of other cards listed within the same hour that you listed your cards. So you probably have to do one of two things. You have to have extreme volume, so just pumping, or you have to have the lowest price. And that is a very, very like tough nut to crack, because you see, let's say there's a Jacob Mizorowski gold refractor that sold for 65, 60, 55, 60, and 65. Those are the last 5 sales. You think your card should sell for 65. However, someone saw you list yours for 65 and they immediately listed it for 60. Then the next person immediately listed it for 57. When there's a new release, it is a very, very small window where you either have to be first, cheapest, or volume. Those are like one of those 3 lanes within selling on eBay has to happen, because it is ultra competitive, and the amount of footwork you have to do to list a card on eBay is like the least amount that it's ever been. Snap it from your phone. AI fills in the description. AI will even give you a price point if you want it to, and it'll list it for you. So you could take a picture of a card and realistically have it listed within 30 seconds, have it at market price, and have all the details filled in. So people searching, whether it's gold refractor, gold X-fractor, rare gold refractor, they'll find it without needing to put in the exact terminology. So the search terms, the competition, everything, there's just so much working against you to sell cards quickly on eBay. I know that's kind of harsh, but that is the reality of it. And that is something that I have pulled back from, is doing new releases, because the stress of having it listed as fast as I possibly can is very, very difficult. I like small batch, my top card, I will list that, watch what the market does on the top card, and then adjust accordingly. So I'm probably a little harsh, unfortunately, but that is the reality. You have to be cheapest, first, or have extreme volume to get eyes and sales. And then the volume portion is you have to have a good discount. So if you have 100 cards, or you have a base card from every single player listed on the checklist, then you have to have a quantity discount, because that's how you get team collectors or people looking to buy one of each rookie. Or I noticed when I would do new releases and list every card, like all the base cards, I would have the occasional person come in and buy one card of a player if they changed teams, and they would buy 15 cards for my store at once. And it was always like a player's first card. So like Pete Alonso, first card on the Mets, So whatever new release it was, they would buy those cards. It was always interesting to see that. So there's so many different ways that people will try and use discounts. People are just trying to be the cheapest. If they can compare card for card, the exact same card, they're almost always going to buy the cheaper card. So it's price point related first and foremost, but a lot of different things go into it. Security at a place like that, what I want for a warehouse type space is no retail foot traffic. I am not looking to have people in there daily to look through cards, to buy cards, whatever. I want a warehouse space to store my cards, have an employee work for me that is not within my, the confines of my home, and then have a place that people can meet me again that is not at my home so I can buy their collections, or I can lock the door and go like meet them immediately. That is what I would want a warehouse space for. And then obviously the actual space of it, spread out, just go nuts, and then have better systems within a warehouse space. So I would have bulk, likely throw away, give it one more look section, ultra modern baseball that could be, maybe I don't want to list it right now. Maybe it's something like 2024 Bowman draft where I'm going to revisit these cards every time a new player gets called up, or every 3 months I'm going to revisit these boxes. I would just like to have my inventory more spaced out, more sectioned off, and then continue to like pick the bones and pick the absolute maximum value out of each idea. And that's probably, like time management wise, that's probably not a good way to do it. But in my head, that's how I think I would enjoy buying and selling the most. Correct fire suppression. Yeah, that's important too. Also, I'm worried about in Ohio, I'm worried about heat and air. Like it has to be climate controlled. There's a lot of warehouse space within this area, specifically like within 10 miles of where I am. I've looked at it. And because we have the flooring location, I know about the warehouse spacing. It's not properly cooled, or it's not properly heated, or both. And it's our flooring warehouse. It stays above 45 at all times. It has one of those huge heaters that'll heat the whole thing. It kicks on hopefully only once a day in the deep, deep winter months because it's just producing so much energy and so much heat. It has to be within a certain window of degrees. But in the summer, it's so humid. I would say it's 95 degrees in there because it traps heat and there's nowhere for it to escape. So it's very, very important to have security, fire suppression, climate controlled. And then also, I don't want a retail window. I don't want people to see them. Obviously, if I'm advertising, hey, come meet me here, people are going to find out about it. But it's more important for me for people not to be able to see, because I will have insurance about theft and whatever else and just hope for the best. But I'll have cameras, double locked doors, whatever type of metal I can get behind the door. I'll do all of that stuff. So I know, like you see it online. I feel like I see a video weekly about a card shop being broken into, wax stolen, all that stuff. So it's almost inevitable that there will be some type of issue, but I will do my best to be out in front of it with whatever I can. Upgrade the fire system, 1.2 million. Jeez, that's wild. I mean, I know that's a business expense, but if you're not a business that's producing millions upon millions of dollars, that is an unrealistic expense that would kind of sink you if it was a requirement. Insurance companies will screw you if they can. They're very, very particular about wording and things like that. But I do have some family members who are in the insurance restoration business, and while that does, associate more with fire and water claims, they know how to talk to an insurance adjuster. They know the right terminology. They know the right paperwork. They know the right things that I would need to make my case and kind of make it undeniable. So I will have at least some protection against it if something were to happen. Now, I know we're talking about like literal worst case scenarios, but it happens more than you think. Literally just got a text message about a fire in one of the Westlake apartments where I used to live. My apartment complex, one of the buildings, so it was probably, I want to say it's probably 16 units to a building. 3 years ago now, to the day, I know because I was leaving for this baseball tournament, lightning struck a tree caught on fire, caught the building on fire, the entire building burned up. So it's not unheard of, especially in Northeast Ohio. We have random natural disasters. So I would be aware of it, I would try and protect against it. But hopefully, that's not something I would have to face. Collectible insurance is different. I would have to have collectible specific insurance, and that's something again I'm aware of, and I would be focused on that and have the right people in my corner to fight if I did have a case. Again, I'm hoping that never comes to fruition, but it could be. Yeah, going to Buffalo tomorrow. We got baseball. Lightning is weird in this area for sure. It has caused multiple fires like around me. We had a tornado yesterday in Youngstown, which is where our league team. We have another team in our league that's going to a different regional. They're going to Youngstown. That's where they're heading. I hope that doesn't affect them. But yeah, Ohio's weird about natural disasters. It's still not. It's still pretty low, but we get a little bit of everything. We still get some tornadoes. We still get rain issues. We still have fire issues. We got choked out by Canada wildfires, which is wild to me. Literally didn't go outside last Thursday and Friday unless it was like literally I had to go to the post office because I have 1 day shipping, had to go to work. That was it. I was not even pretending. The air quality was insane. I don't have any like pre-existing conditions. I don't smoke. I don't have any like breathing issues. It choked me out immediately when I walked outside. So the people that do have any type of breathing issues, it was crazy. Ohio's weird. Ohio's so weird. We have bears again. Coshocton County. Yeah, there you go. That's wild that your house was hit. Man, Ohio's just a weird place to be. What am I doing here? What am I doing here? Send me to Tennessee right now. Oh, yeah. It blocked out the hot sun. We had our air quality index was like 1,000, which is 2 times worse than what the scale was supposed to go to. So it was weird. I want to rip these boxes, post up some new videos. I hope you guys see. I hope you guys see me pull a $10 million Shohei Ohtani card. Like I hope that gold logo man redemption is sitting in here. I already thought about what I would say on camera, and I think what I would do is literally just let the camera run for like the next 2 hours. Like I would hit it and then just like literally just calling people on the phone, be like, dude, guess what I just hit? Hey, guess what I just hit? And leave the camera running the whole time. I don't know. We talk about a $10 million card with a probably 1 in 10 million chance of actually hitting. Yeah, Don, I got just a blaster and a hobby. I'm going to rip those and post up some videos here shortly. Joe, Don, and whoever else was lurking, 2, 3, 4 of you. I appreciate you guys coming in, saying what's up. Buffalo this week, and then I'll be back next Wednesday. Next Wednesday for this show. Speaking of lives, you know what else I did live this week? I mean, I posted it up. I think both of you guys saw it, but Ohtani All Ace is just chilling right here. No idea what I'm going to do with it. Yeah, that'll be fun. I appreciate you guys, though. I'm going to rip these, film it, and post it up here shortly. I'll see you guys next Wednesday to chat a little sports cards. Till then, you guys have a good week.